Iceland, which is regarded as the safest country in the world, is currently struggling to find people to work. In a few months' time, you and your family could be living in Iceland. In this video, I'm going to explain to you one of the easiest and cheapest ways for you to legally migrate abroad. In case you are unsure, where is Iceland? Iceland is part of what is known as the Nordic countries, which comprises of Denmark, Norway, Finland, and the Faroe Islands and Greenland. If you move to Ireland under this program, you do not need English language proficiency test. The total cost of applying for Iceland work permit is less than €100. You will be able to take your family with you. The supporting spouse will have an open work permit, which means they will be able to work in any sectors of the Icelandic economy. Your children will be able to access health and education free of charge because Iceland is part of what is known as the EEA countries, and as a result, you will be able to travel around the 27 countries that make up the EU, such as France, Germany, Netherlands, Spain, and all the EU countries. This is a fantastic opportunity to achieve your migration dream. I know you are wondering now, how can we move to this country? Don't worry, I'll get there. The three easiest ways that you can move to Iceland if you are not married to Icelandic woman or you do not have any family connection is through what is known as the qualified professional. Iceland also have the temporary shortage labor, and they have the seasonal workers route as well, and they also have the digital nomad visa. If you give me time, I will explain these various opportunities to you one by one. In addition to the options that I've already explained, Iceland, you do not pay a dime as school fees to study in Iceland. You only pay an administrative fee, which I'm going to come to shortly. Now, the easiest way for you is to get a job from an employer that is based in Iceland. I will give you a link of all the websites that you can use to get a job in Iceland, and I will also explain what you will need to do in order to increase your chances of being able to land a job from your home country in Iceland. If you're seeing my video for the first time, my name is Francis. I do videos to show people how they can legally migrate to any country of their choice without needing to spend money on lawyers or agents. If your goal is to legally migrate this year, therefore, consider subscribing to this channel. It is in your best interest. We want to help as many people as possible to legally migrate abroad this year without them needing to spend money on lawyers or agents. Once you get a job from an employer that is based in Iceland, the employer will need to notify the Directorate of Immigration that they've hired a non-Icelandic and non-EU person. Once they give you an offer of employment which has been signed, you need your passport, which must be valid for a minimum of 6 months, police character report, and proof of health. That is what you will take to another EU country because it's highly unlikely that Iceland would have an embassy in your home country but one of the EU countries will act on their behalf. If no EU country is acting on their behalf, which is highly unlikely, you may have to send your passport to Iceland by post for them to issue you the visa. The total cost of Iceland long-term visa is only €92. Once you have the visa, you will move to Iceland. When you arrive in Iceland, you will need to apply for what is known as the Kennitula. The Kennitula is the Icelandic 10-digit number which allows you to access health and education, all the services in Iceland. That is what you need to do that. So once you are in Iceland, your supporting spouse will have open work permit to work in Iceland. That is one of the first options. I will show you all the website again, and I will show you the occupations in Iceland that the government is currently struggling to find people to come and work. The total population of Iceland is less than 420,000 people. That is their population. The second option that you can use to relocate to Iceland is the seasonal workers route. Iceland is struggling to find people to work in hotels, bars, and in some cases, cleaning as well. So if you get a seasonal job to go to Iceland, that will be able to take you to Iceland as well. One of the easiest ways for you to go to Iceland, if you do not meet the criteria for the seasonal visa or the skilled worker, is to consider the student route. As I said before, in Iceland, international students, they do not pay any penny to access university in a public university. The main three public universities in Iceland is the University of Iceland, Holar University, and the University of Akureyri. Those are the three main universities. You only pay an administrative fee a year, which is about $500. And as a student, you will be able to work part-time in Iceland if you move to Iceland as well. You can take your family with you to Iceland if you move to Iceland on the student route. If you're seeing value for what you've heard so far and you haven't considered subscribing to this channel, please consider subscribing to this channel. We want to help as many people as possible to legally migrate abroad without needing to spend money on lawyers or agents. The sectors of the Icelandic economy that the government is struggling to find people to work, you're looking at things like fishery, hospitality, healthcare, information technology, construction, aluminium smithing jobs is very popular in Iceland. Fish processing job is very popular. Fishery is one of the major source of revenue to the Icelandic government. And they also have the geomatic power. It's very, very popular. There are a shortage of jobs in that sector as well. The website that you can use to find jobs in Iceland, some of these websites have a track record of being successful in Iceland. So one of the most popular one is a website called alfred.is. You can use jobs.is as well. You can use job in Iceland. There are other jobs like Jekko, which is a technology a website for those looking for a job in the technology. You can also move to Iceland if you are under 27 as an au pair. You can go to Iceland and live in Iceland. The difference between au pair is that you're a young person, you go to Iceland. There is a website I will leave in the description section that you can use to get a job. You will be living with a family. You'll be taking care of their child or their children. You live with the family and you'll be paid. That is another route that you can also consider if you're looking for a pathway to move to Iceland. So I hope you have seen value for what you have heard. I will leave all the links in the description section. This is a fantastic and cheap ways for you to achieve your migration dream. Iceland is one of the richest and most desirous countries in the world that people want to go to for many reasons. Make sure you consider this opportunity and also look at the student option. This is a great way for you to achieve your migration dream. Make sure you exploit this opportunity.